The Land of Rain, Balad al-Matar. After 2 days' travel, Halima arrived in the Land of Rain. She immediately put on her raincoat to keep dry, as it never stopped raining there. She wandered the streets in search of the leader, but nobody would stop and talk to her. Everybody rushed along, holding up their black umbrellas as though they were terribly late getting somewhere. When Halima saw this, she was disappointed. Just then she remembered how good had managed to gather round all the forest animals with its song. She started singing a song from her land, but it was in vain. Not a single person stopped to listen until she heard a voice behind her. "You sing beautifully. I would love to hear you sing a little more. Could you keep going?" Halima turned her head and saw a little boy.
"Hi, I'm Halima. I have been singing for hours and my throat is sore. Would it be okay if I sing to you in a little while?"
Halima said, to which the little boy replied, "Hi, I'm John. You don't have to tire your throat anymore. Would you like to play with me in the park across the street?" So the two children went to the park and played blind man's bluff until they got tired. "I had a wonderful time with you, Halima. I really enjoyed playing with other children, but most of the time I play alone," said John.
"Why did you play with your parents?"
asked Halima, and he said that his parents were constantly counting their coins and that if they were to play with him for an hour, they would lose 100 coins.
"Break your piggy bank open, count out 100 coins and give them to your parents, so they will play with you for an hour. While I was singing, people tossed me coins. Here, take mine too. There are 28 of them. If you have 72 more, you can play with your parents,"
Halima said. John asked her where she was staying and she told him she was going to sleep on a bench. John thanked Halima and they set a play date for the following date. John got home late, went to his room, broke open his piggy bank, counted out 72 coins and ran to his parents full of joy. "Mom, Dad, I have 100 coins." His parents looked at each other and angrily asked him where he had found the money. Then John told them about Halima and the advice she had given him. John's parents realized that they had been wrong to have been sitting around counting their coins instead of playing with him. They played with John for a very long time as they regretted their actions deeply. "Where is your friend Halima?" John's parents asked, and he told them she was sleeping in the park on her own. They immediately went and invited her to stay at their house so she could rest properly. When they got back home, Halima told them her story, that she was looking for the leader of the Land of Rain to ask him to send rain clouds to her land. "We are the leaders of the Land of Rain," said John's parents, and they promised her that the very next morning they would send many clouds to Halima's homeland. Halima was very tired, but also very happy. She and John went to bed and she dreamt of rain in her land and of people laughing and playing in the rain. The following morning, Halima was awoken by the sun beaming through her window. She opened it up and saw there was no more rain or clouds in the Land of Rain. He looked at the park across the street and noticed that people were no longer holding their black umbrellas or walking in a rush. They were all playing, singing, laughing and enjoying the sun together. Just then, John's parents walked in and told her that all the clouds were heading to the land of the sun. Halima burst into cries of joy. She hugged and thanked John's parents, and then she went back to the window and called out at the top of her voice,
Mom, all Teen Elpidophoros was good. We did it. Rain clouds are heading to the land of sun.
And her voice traveled very, very far. So far, in fact, that good Elpidophoros, Oltin and her mother all heard her. It started raining in the land of the sun, and the rain filled the rivers with clean water. The rivers filled the lakes and springs, and people laughed and sang and danced together and played blind man's bluff in the rain. And the leader of the land realized that her daughter Halima had succeeded in bringing back hope to the whole world with her journey. And they all lived happily ever after.